Gentlemen, good to see all three of you. I just want to start generally. We're all waiting on Ohtani, right? It's hard. Have you guys ever seen a situation at the winter meetings where everyone's waiting on one player to drop so all the aftermath can ensue?
Well, we've certainly seen people waiting for maybe two players to drop. I remember just about 5-6 years ago, Bryce Harper, Manny Machado were out there, and that was holding some stuff up. They went into February. I don't think that's going to happen here. I don't know that he's going to sign this week while we are in Nashville. But I do think that until the Ohtani domino falls, there's going to be a bunch of guys waiting.
Yeah, I think it's Ohtani and Yamamoto. I think we are waiting for two guys. As Mark said, we waited for two before. Right now we have a pitcher and a hitter who's going to be a pitcher. And, I mean, they're both fantastic players, and teams are shooting for them. And if you sign someone for $500 million or more, you know, then you're not going to be able to do some other stuff. So it makes sense.
Is there any chance the Soto trade happens, Bob, before Ohtani signs?
I think so.
Oh, you think so?
I think Ohtani will sign next week. I think Soto should go down, maybe not while we're here, sometime in the next 4 or 5 days. I mean, they're waiting to get what they want. They need pitching. Who's going to give them the most pitching?
Is it inevitable that the Yankees will acquire Juan Soto, Bob?
Not inevitable. I mean, Blue Jays are in the picture. I think the Mariners could be a sleeper in there. I don't see it, but they could be. But yeah, I got to think that the Yankees will get Soto. They need him the most. They need to, get things right. There's a lot of pressure.
The same question you two.
Well, right now they're pretty far apart. So to say it's inevitable, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I could see them being the favorite, but I mean, I was told by a Yankee person it's a waste of time right now to continue this discussion because right now we're talking about apples and, the whole farm. It's so far apart. They're nowhere near each other at this point.
Inevitable.
Again, I don't know about inevitable. I've heard somebody put it this way. They said the Padres were asking for the moon and the stars. Brian Cashman's willing to give them the moon, but not the stars. So there's a deal to be made there. Padres will have to bring their price down. The Yankees might have to come up a little bit. They're the most logical fit. There's no question about that. But the Blue Jays, who are in on Ohtani, are also looking at Soto. And the Mariners have shed some salary recently. And there's, like Bob said, there's some thought that the Mariners could be positioning themselves for some type of big move. And some people have speculated Soto. I don't know if the Mariners would give up the pitching it's going to take to get him for 1 year, not knowing if they're going to be able to re-sign him. The Yankees have the money to re-sign him.
I mean, the Mariners do look like they're going to do something, right? They've shed so much payroll. We haven't heard it, but why not Ohtani? I mean, Ohtani is a fit for them, right? Well, why not?
Bob, you laughed. Why did you laugh at that?
They tried hard for him 6 years ago. They're down to a $115 million payroll. I mean, they did great with Ichiro. I'm not going to rule them out. Even if they've ruled themselves out, I'm putting them back in.
Well, everybody talks about Ohtani wanting to win. The Angels have won more than the Seattle Mariners have. Seattle's got one postseason in 22 years. Angels have done better than that.
In Ohtani's career, the Mariners have been in the playoffs more than the Angels.
Oh, good point.
For him watching, and they were there last year.
And Seattle's trending pretty well right now, right? I mean, even if you say 54%, that's still pretty good.
And their future's bright with Julio Rodriguez as a centerpiece in their lineup. All right, so I can't give you the moon. You mentioned the moon, but I can give you a pie. I put together a pie chart on Shohei Ohtani. I want you guys to look at the pie chart, the likelihood of the teams where he will go. Now, fans, pay attention. This is according to expert Greg Amsinger. 30% likelihood he signs with the Dodgers. Equally, the same likelihood he signs with the Blue Jays, who I believe will be motivated to sign Shohei Ohtani because I don't think they're locking up Vladdy Guerrero or Bo Bichette beyond the next 2 years where they have control. I think the Cubs are very much in this. I put the Braves at 10% to the chagrin of John Morosi, who says they're a player. This is according to some guy named Greg Amsinger, John. Do not roll your eyes. The Giants are at 10%. We see the Angels are only at 2%. I just don't buy, after all the losing that he sustained in Anaheim, that he's going back there.
Oh, come on.
I got to tell you.
2%.
I think you flip the Angels into that 20% with the Cubs. Yeah. I think the Angels would be the 20% team. I think the Cubs move down where the Braves are to the 10% team, and the Braves fall maybe to the 2%, and the 1% for the Yankees, get that off the board. They're 0%.
They're 0%.
0%. And I would move the Mariners up as well, just for what we talked about before. But I think the Angels are very much in this, and in the last 24 hours, I've had several people tell me they think he will ultimately go back to the Angels.
Yeah. We got to give the Angels higher than what do you have them there? I can't even see
20%.
It's 2% going back to the
2%.
Angels.
I think Mark is closer. The bottom of that pie chart, I'm going to move like Mark. Top of the pie chart, I'm going to move some from Toronto over to the Dodgers and give the Dodgers 50%. Move Toronto down to 10% because, I think Toronto's got a great team. I don't blame them. He certainly can help them. But do you really see someone who picked Anaheim out of all the teams going to Toronto? You cannot find a more polar opposite than from Anaheim to Toronto.
You're speaking like an American. Okay?
I am an American.
Yeah, right. My point is Shohei Ohtani looks at all this. He owns Japan. He's already owned America. Why not own a third country?
Well, here's the thing.
He's taking over planet Earth.
We have no idea what he's thinking in terms of the East Coast, the West Coast. Everybody's assuming he wants to stay on the West Coast. Maybe he'll go to the East Coast. Maybe he'd go to the Northeast up to Canada. We don't know. But I think the prevailing thought is that all things being equal, he likes the West Coast and that he'd want to stay there, which is why I think the Dodgers and Angels have to be.
Okay, but then we've all been misled to thinking that he cares about winning because if he goes back to the Angels, then that was all it didn't matter.
It's just comfort. He's got he's been there. They let him do exactly what he wants. He hasn't talked to media there since August 9th. I think he's going to the Dodgers. If it's not the Dodgers, I think the Angels are in the picture. I'll go 70% Dodgers, 20% Angels, and then split the thing. I don't not think he's going to Chicago or Atlanta or Seattle. San Francisco, he wants to hit home runs. I think it's between the two Southern California teams.
Yeah, Angels 2%. You're going to give me that 49-1 odds? I'll take out a few.
He's not going back to the
right
Angels.
now.
He's not.
I'm
telling you. See,
they let him do what he wanted to do. He did great.
Everyone's going to let him do what he wants to do, John.
Well,
he's not signing anywhere unless they let him do what he wants to do.
They all said that at the beginning, but they actually did it, and he thrived.
He was the only team that he played for. That was the only team he played for.
He lives in Newport Beach. Have you been in Newport Beach?
I've been there.
Pretty nice.
Very nice. There are a lot of nice and wonderful places.
Even nicer than New Jersey, believe it or not.
And nicer than Toronto's a gorgeous place to live.
I don't know about that, John. Let's not get crazy here.
Now, it seems like you guys got motivated by expert Greg Amsinger's pie chart. I have a pie chart for Juan Soto. Here are the likely destinations for Juan Soto to get traded to. 90% to the New York Yankees, 8% to the Blue Jays, 2% to the Seattle Mariners. John, because you really like pie charts, I'm going to let you go first. Break this down. Tell me why you...
Okay, first of all, Seattle, they only got 2%. I think I'm the one who threw that out there, and I just made it up last night. I was just speculating. Did anybody else?
Apparently, this expert Greg Amsinger thought of it too.
Well, I thank you for that, and I'll leave them at 2% since I'm the one who made it up.
You like those 49-1 odds, John?
At 90%. That's too high. They are so far apart right now. San Diego wanted 7 guys back, including Thorpe and King. Yankees right now are saying no to Thorpe, no to King. It's not even close right now. Can it be close?
There's no one closer than the Yankees is my point.
We don't know that. We
know the Blue Jays are making a big play for Ohtani. If they don't get him,
exactly.
They might be motivated at that point, excuse me, to go after Soto.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, the likelihood he gets traded to which team? The Yankees are driving the bus.
Right now.
They're driving the bus, except right now they're at a bus stop and they're out of gas.
They can't miss out on Juan Soto. The Yankees cannot miss out on Juan Soto, Bob.
Well, Toronto has got to get somebody. So Toronto's in that picture. I'd go 75% Yankees, 25% Toronto. They have to get a star. They got to get someone to sell tickets there. And the Yankees can always reach out and grab Bellinger.
You have a Yamamoto pie chart for us next?
I love your pie. Pictures of the pie. The numbers are off, though. They're way off.
I've got a pie graphic on the likelihood of who breaks the Shohei Ohtani story. Johnny, you ready for this?
All right.
I'm kidding. He started to sweat.
I kind of wanted to see it. I can't lie.
We'll do that a little later. This was fun. John, you're catching your breath from all these pie charts. Again, Bob, John, Mark, that was so much fun.